You can stare, baby. It's free. But don't forget, access is earned.
Hey friends, if you're watching this, you can already tell things look a little bit different. I'm sitting behind my desk in my office, the same spot where I've recorded every tear, laugh, and confession for the past 2 years. Of course, this is now in Pennsylvania and not in South Carolina, but this time there's a camera staring back at me. This is my first real video session for Just Jess, besides that quick intro I did almost 2 years ago, and honestly, it feels strange and beautiful all at once. For almost 2 years, it's been just my voice in your ears, and that's been enough. But lately, I felt this pull to let you see the person behind the stories, the messy, exhausted, surviving human who's still showing up. I wanted to branch out into video because some things can't just be heard. They need to be seen. The pauses, the laughter, the tremble in my hands when I talk about the hard stuff. This podcast has never been about perfection. I mean, come on, guys. But it has always been about honesty. And honesty deserves a face. Unfortunately for me, and sometimes for you, that means I have to put my best face forward on the days that I feel like I can, that is. But there are going to be days when you see me sick, with no makeup, not made up, no hair except for what I grew myself. Even now, I'm fighting congestion that I'm worried is going to turn into pneumonia. So bear with me while we get through this. I'm Jess Faulkner, and this is Just Jess. If you're new here, Just Jess is a podcast about life, chronic illness, parenthood, and survival. All the messy, beautiful, heartbreaking, and sometimes hilarious things that make us human. Around here, we talk about pain without shame, healing without filters, and hope without pretending everything's okay. It's raw, it's real, and if you've ever felt like you don't quite fit anywhere, this space is for you. Before we jump in, I want to give a quick listener warning. Just Jess often explores heavy, sometimes disturbing content. We talk about trauma, grief, loss, and mental health, and this episode is no exception. Today's story includes open discussions of medical procedures, chemotherapy, illness, and the general struggle of living as a parent, spouse, individual through cancer. If that feels too heavy right now, I love you for listening this far, but please take care of yourselves first. You can always come back when you're ready. For those still here, let's catch up on October. It was a long month, health-wise, life-wise, podcast-wise, the kind of month that burns you down and dares you to rebuild. So, yeah, October. I don't even know where to start. It's been doctors and healing, hope and exhaustion, all tangled together. I do have a very important announcement to make that I am so excited about, and it takes priority. My very best friend Anissa is coming to visit in December once she's done with this semester of school, and I cannot wait to see her and show her around and let her see how wonderful Pittsburgh is. I'm so excited. Josh and I both are, and so are the kids. We love her so much, and I know she will love it here. And I probably will do a special episode with her. I am truly hoping she moves here. Honestly, if I could have my dad close and my best friend close by, I would be pretty set. I started new medication, anagrelide, and my body's still trying to figure out what the hell to do with it. It's a lot. The nausea, the headaches, the dizziness, all of those things they list as possible side effects. Yeah, they're real. But here we are, trying. And somewhere in between chemo and bad sleep, I've been trying to hold on to pieces of a normal life, like keeping up with my kids, recording when I can, showing up here even when it's messy, being a good wife and housekeeper, looking for a job because it'd be nice to have the income, going to events, and somehow still being a person. Podcast-wise, it's been heavy too. The topics I've covered in the month of October: loss, grief, mental illness, true crime, survival, they've taken a toll. Not in a bad way, but in a way where you realize just how much storytelling can cost you. Because this show isn't just content. It's my life. It's my pain and my healing. It's the echo of every hospital hallway and every kitchen table conversation that's ever held me together. But even with all that, October gave me perspective. It reminded me that I'm still here, still creating, still loving, still building something that feels like purpose. And maybe that's the whole point of the aftermath of October. Not that it didn't break me, but that I'm still standing in the smoke, figuring out what comes next. There are a few things I already know. I've got an interview with a very good friend of mine and neighbor, Alicia, about how she saved her daughter's life. That's one I'm really excited to share. But honestly, I'm also still figuring out what else November and December will hold. So if you're listening, my very faithful audience, I would love your ideas. What do you want to hear about in the next couple of months? Now, I do have a story to tell you, but I want to make space for your voices too. I want to make space for your stories. I know I want to do something about Pittsburgh from now on. A good story about something local. I want to start including a lot more local things into my podcast too. So I may reformat a little bit and include a local blurb every episode because I truly love this city now. I have never experienced the type of people that Pittsburgh bills, but I'm quite impressed. Also, they are taking care of me medically. They're taking care of my children educationally and taking care of Josh visually, and with the whole treasure hunting and treasure finding opportunities at the many local thrift stores and outlets that Pittsburgh has. Pittsburgh, I love you. Thank you for welcoming me the way you have. And I promise I'm going to start giving back in a way that can help my local listeners. I mean, Pittsburgh has always been a city of reinvention. Steel and smoke gave way to art, grit, and heart. And lately, the good news feels almost tangible. Across the boroughs, people are turning what's broken into something beautiful again. In the north side, places like Randyland keep blooming with color and joy, a testament to one man's decision to transform trash into art and loneliness into community. In Homestead and Lawrenceville, You'll find neighbors planting gardens where abandoned lots used to sit. Like, while downtown artists and volunteers are transforming gray walls into murals, celebrating resilience and rebirth. Even the city's leadership is stepping up with initiatives like, oh my gosh, like the Allegheny County 500 and 500, which is a push to create 500 affordable housing units in 500 days. Proof that progress doesn't have to stay trapped in policy and papers. The truth is, Pittsburgh's heartbeat has always been its people. The ones who smile in grocery lines, the ones who check on their neighbors, share food, and rebuild block by block. There's a very quiet pride in that. And there are plenty of ways to join in. Of course, if you're local and looking for some support, you can always dial 211. These are the threads holding our city together. The gardens, the murals, the fundraisers, the community hotline, the people who still believe in showing up. Pittsburgh might not be perfect, but it's proof that even after the hardest winters, there's always something or someone growing back stronger. And if you need some additional help locally, here are some resources you can find either in this section of the podcast where you can pause and write them down, or in the show notes on Spotify. If you need to, I would pause and grab something to write with or put a note in your phone to save these numbers, whatever works best for you, but they are important. Even if you may never need them, someone you know might. The Resolve Crisis Services in Allegheny County is open 24/7 and has a free crisis hotline at 1-888-7-YOU-CAN. They have a walk-in center at 333 North Braddock Avenue in Pittsburgh at 15208. The YMCA of Greater Pittsburgh, wonderful. They offer community and mental health support, referrals, and programming for families. The Pittsburgh Community Services Inc., or PCSI, is an anti-poverty agency that offers food and nutrition assistance, employment support, and housing resources in Pittsburgh. The Center for Community Resources offers information and a referral line for assorted support at 844-360-4372, or you can call or text 988 24/7 for crisis help. The Crisis Center North is open 24/7, and it's a violence and domestic support. The hotline is 412-364-5556. The Allegheny Link for housing and homelessness assistance at 866-730-2368. They're open Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I really hope these help anyone who needs them. And again, even if you don't need one, someone else could. Moving on, I thought it would be cool to look back a bit and take a quick highlight of some of the topics that we've covered in our episodes of these podcasts. For anyone new here, or if you've been around since the beginning, here's a look at everything we've built together so far. Season 1 was a lot about finding my voice. In episodes 1 through 3, I was really introducing Just Jess and my story, from fashion staples and recipes to my cancer diagnosis. In episode 4 through 6, I really talk a lot about mental health and motherhood, bipolar disorder, postpartum depression, and poetry with the famous poet Jessica Jocelyn. In episodes 7 through 10, it's really survival stories with health updates, talking about trauma, childhood sexual abuse, and how I reclaimed my power. Episodes 11 through 13 were about spirituality, identity, and rebirth, faith, boundaries, and rebuilding. Episode 14, one of my favorites, was Addicted to Love, my deep dive into sex addiction and hypersexuality. Episode 15 and 16 was transgender identity and sexual assault awareness. It was real, hard conversations with people I love and trust, like one of my greatest friends, Charlie. Episode 18 and 19 were reflections on mania, depression, the mess, the exhaustion, the resilience. Season 2 was all about deep dives and dark truths. Episode 31 was about me moving to Pittsburgh, pods losing our pods, not having a bed, chaos, everything new, but also a new beginning. Episode 32, Unknown Number, was this dissecting digital cruelty and manipulation through Netflix's Catfish documentary. What a wild documentary. Oh my gosh. Episode 33 was about Suicide Awareness Month. We talked about grief, survival, and remembering those we've lost, like Dennis. Episode 34, the foster care system. I interviewed someone. We talked about trauma, resilience, and all the things the system got wrong. Episode 35, the smiley face killer. True crime meets mass hysteria, separating myth from truth. Episode 36, the real monster, Ed Gein, Hollywood, and our obsession with monsters. So if you've been with me through all of that, thank you. Truly, thank you. We've talked about sex and survival, parenthood and mania, religion and recipes, murder and media, trauma and truth. We've talked about how the body breaks and how it heals. And now, with this new season 2, this new camera, and this new chapter, we're expanding the story even further. Because Just Jess has never been about one topic. It's been about life and all of its ugly, sometimes hilarious, mostly heartbreaking forms. And if you've listened to even one episode, then you've been a part of this. Thank you. October left me hollowed out in a way I haven't felt in months. There's a heaviness that comes with the chaos, the part no one warns you about, when the appointments slow down, when the adrenaline fades, when the last test result sits heavy on your desk, and there's no next move except for waiting. That's the aftermath. When the world is quiet, but your body hasn't gotten the memo. Mine keeps vibrating, like it's still dodging the punches, even though the fight, for now, is over. Survival has a cost, but it also has dividends. For every piece I've lost, I've built something new. A better boundary, a softer heart, a louder truth. When people ask me how I keep doing it, how I keep showing up, parenting, podcasting, smiling through chemo, I tell them the truth. I don't fucking know. I just do. Because I have to. Because stopping would mean disappearing. Death. And I'm not ready to vanish yet. So I keep moving. I keep recording. I keep making art out of the aftermath, even when the aftermath still aches. Maybe that's the whole point. We survive so we can tell the story about the telling of the story and how it becomes its own kind of survival. There comes a point after the chaos where the silence feels heavier than the noise. The world stops spinning, the calls slow down, and you realize just how much space the fight took up inside of you. That's where I am right now, in the quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you notice everything you've been avoiding. The laundry, the unopened mail, the dreams you keep promising to get back to. The silence can be brutal, but it's also honest. It doesn't sugarcoat a damn thing. It shows you the wreckage and says, okay, bitch, now what? That's the aftermath. And when you're left alone with the pieces and have to decide what's worth gluing back together, October stripped me bare in all the best and worst ways. It forced me to look at what still matters. The truth is, not everything that breaks deserves to be fixed. Some things are meant to stay gone to make room for what's coming. What's left, for me, are the small things. The slow mornings where the kids' laughter echoes down the hallways. When Josh takes my glasses off after I've fallen asleep in bed or on the couch and puts them away so I don't break them. The quiet hum of the fridge somehow feels like proof of a normal life. The way the sun comes through the windows just right when I make my coffee. Like, even the universe knows I need one gentle thing to hold on to. That's what the smoke clearing looks like. It's not fireworks. It's not a grand comeback. It's survival in motion. It's the art of staying, even when it hurts. I've learned to find meaning in the little rituals, like having tea with Tony, where nothing monumental happens except for peace. Or Days of Ways, our family's pirate Christmas. We built our own holiday because the old ones never felt like they really belonged to us. Not really. I like to think our version of Christmas makes my great-grandma smile wherever she is. She'd definitely appreciate a good rebellion, especially one with costumes and carbs. Even when I'm at my lowest, those small moments tether me. They keep me from drifting too far into the exhaustion. I've come to realize joy doesn't erase pain. It coexists with it. It shows up wearing scars and mascara and says, we're still doing this, bitch. But that doesn't mean it's easy. The body remembers every hit. The mind does too. There are days where I still wake up angry at the universe, where I question why I have to keep surviving when so many other people get to just live. I think about my friends who didn't make it this far. Sarah, who fought cancer and lost. The ones who lost themselves to addiction or grief. The ones who ghosted not because they wanted to, but because the world made it too hard for them to stay. I miss them all. And then there are the ones who are still alive but might as well be ghosts. My mother, for one. Losing a parent who's still breathing is its own brand of cruel. It's grief without a funeral. Love without closure. Some nights I still think about the 5-year-old mom I had when I was a little girl. But that fades. And I've learned to stop expecting that person to come back. Still, through all of it, the loss, the fatigue, the endless rebuilding, I'm still here. And that's become my mantra. I don't always say it out loud, but it hums in the background like a heartbeat. Still here when the meds make me sick. Still here when the bills pile up. Still here when the pain doesn't let me sleep. Still here, somehow, No matter how much pain stacks up, I keep finding my way back to this mic. Back to the story. Back to this space where my survival doesn't have to make sense. It just has to exist. And that's the real meaning of aftermath. It's not just what's left after destruction. It's what you decide to build next. It's the choice to turn the wreckage into a foundation instead of a coffin. It's the refusal to let pain be the final word. It's the moment you realize you've been burned down to your truest parts, and somehow you still can recognize yourself. That's what October gave me. Not peace, but perspective. Taught me that every ending I've survived wasn't really an ending at all. It's all been preparation. I know November is here with surgeries and side effects and chaos waiting at the door. I know the holidays will bring their own ache, that mix of nostalgia and fatigue that hits you when you're trying to make magic while you're running on fumes. But I also know I'll find beauty in it. I always do. Because I'm done apologizing for my exhaustion. I'm done minimalizing my pain. I'm done pretending the fight doesn't scare me. What I'm not done with, what I'll never be done with, is showing up. Even if all I can offer is honesty. Even if all I can give is this: a story, a voice, a promise that the aftermath isn't the end. Sure, October burned everything to the ground, but ashes make the best soil. And from here, I'll grow. I'll rebuild. I'll keep telling the truth. Not because it's pretty, but because it's mine. So here's to the ones still standing on their own, still standing in their own aftermath. The ones too tired to dance, but still showing up anyways. The ones who lost more than they ever thought they could and somehow found something worth living for in the debris. You're not alone. You're not broken. You are just rebuilding. And as for me, I'll see you next Wednesday. And you'll see me too. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I love you.
Bad girl certified temptation. Whole club lit up like a revelation. Decree my touch, my vibration. I'm the